This is Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and welcome to the Learn and Return video to Cruise of Eridanus, a competitive space adventure from Dakota Ridge Games. This game was designed by Stedman Watson. A game of Cruise of Eridanus plays 1 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and plays around 2 hours. If you'd like to know more about the rules and setup of the game, please check out the rules video to Cruise of Eridanus. This is a Learn and a Turn video, where you learn as the game plays, in a turn or two or as many needed. We divided this video up into chapters. If you want to view a specific rule from the game, you can find the list of rules in the description below. And if you have a question or something nice to say, leave a comment. It would be a wonderful and tremendous help if you can give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We'll follow a 2-player game and see how the game plays in a couple of turns. Let's introduce the players. The orange player starts here and begins with the crew made up of Cadet Agat and Captain Arnell, who has the ability to generate morale, a resource that can be turned into victory points. And the black player, with Cadet Portico and Captain Fog, who has the ability to gain 1 extra movement. Each player's goal is to collect the most victory points by exchanging morale, hiring certain crew members, winning in combat, and other ways. The board is already set up and ready to go, so let us begin. The orange player starts the game. They use their first action to gain 4 movement points. They move 4 spaces and dock at Space Station Bra. Then using their second action, they draw a passenger card. They can either accept the mission or turn it down to get a new one. They accept this passenger mission, and now they need to head over to a WASI space station to complete this mission. For their third and final action, they make another space station action by taking trading and services. They buy a cargo of food for 400 credits. Reselling it can earn a profit. They put the cargo card in front of them. Orange turn is now done. After every turn, as long as the phase token is on its pirate side, the pirates will move. Pirates will only give chase to a player if they are in the same sector. Checking around Sector A, no pirate movement is triggered. Now it's the black player's turn. For their first action, they use it to gain 4 movement points. They move 2 spaces and dock on the WASI's Habitat space station. For their second action, they use the space station action to hire a crew member. They look through the WASI's Habitat pile and chooses the 59 Eridani gunner, paying 300 for the card and puts the card in front of them. For their third action, they will activate Captain Fog's special ability to move 1 extra point. While using action gives 4 movement points, movement can continue. The black player already used 2 movements to move across hexes. If they wish to move again, they need to spend 1 of those movement points and continue their remaining movement. With Captain Fog's ability, they gain 1 more movement point. So continuing with their movement, first they have to use 1 movement point to restart their movement. Then they have 2 movement points left to move across 2 hexes. Right after their turn, the pirate movement has been triggered, and the pirate now moves 2 spaces closer to the black player. Now that both of their turns are completed, the tracker is moved to round 2. It's the orange player's turn. They use an action to gain 4 movement points, and then they move 3 spaces. This hex grants a gravity boost, which doubles total movement for their turn. First, it takes 3 movement points to stop at the gravity boost space. Then the total movement is doubled from 4 to 8. Since the ships stop, 1 movement point is needed to restart movement, and now 4 movement is left to use. For their final action, they use Captain Anel's special ability to generate 1 morale. There are no pirates here in this sector, so the turn passes on. The black player starts by gaining movement points by using an action. Then they move at half speed to avoid navigation checks in hazard spaces. It costs 2 movement points to move this way for each space. Now for their second action, the player makes a survey action to flip an anomaly token. They secretly check and it's an O. Nothing to be found, and they replace it back. One of the pirate ships is in weapons range and the black player wants to initiate combat. The pirate token is flipped to see what type is it, determining its stats and durability. It's a type A. Now combat begins. First, the player picks their combat cards in their first round and second round of combat and place it face down. Controlled by the other player also picks 2 combat cards. The first combat pair up is revealed. The player has Echo and the pirate has Charlie. The top of each combat tells which combat cards will make the hit against the other. In a hit for both of them, each player now checks their tactic value, added from all their crew. The pirate has 2 and the player has 8. The pirate will deal the minimum number 1 damage despite having the lower tactic value. The black player finds how much damage they will deal by finding the difference between tactic values. The player has 8 and the pirate has 2, a difference of 6. The player deals 6 damage to the pirate. The pirate only has 5 durability and the pirate ship is destroyed. Now they gain spoils from destroying them, 4 victory points and a 200 credit bounty. The pirate ship is removed from the board and the second pair of combat cards don't go through. Right after battle, the player spends 1 supplies token to recharge their weapons, taking back all their used combat cards. The black player's turn is over, and pirate's movement is checked. Since the current sector's pirate is on a space station, it remains there and doesn't move. The round tracker moves to round 3. The orange player starts by first moving 4 spaces. They dock on Hypatia Space Station. There they use the Trading and Services action to sell their food cargo for 800 credits, and then they buy a finished good cargo for 600 credits. Then finally they use Captain Zanel's ability again to generate 1 morale. After their turn, the pirate in the sector moves closer 2 hexes. It's the black player's turn. They start by moving. On this hex, they have to make a navigation check. Their crew has a 0 in navigation ability and the difficulty is 2 printed on the hex. They need to roll a die higher than 2. If they fail, then they have to take damage equal to the difficulty, which is 2. The result is a 5, so they are okay. Movement continues through these hexes. The hex contains a wreck token and they use the location action to explore the hex. They first remove the token and then draw a discovery card. They uncover a ship AI which is added to their crew. By drawing this card, they must draw an event card. A Ezran drone appears. The drone token is placed and combat initiates. In this drone fight, only 1 combat card is put face down. With the cards ready, they flip. Echo is used against the drone's Charlie. Both hit. The drone has a 1 against the black player's 9 tactics. This also includes the tactic value from the new crew member. The drone deals a minimum damage of 1 to the player. Then the player deals their damage. The difference between the tactical value is 8, but 7 damage is the maximum a player can deal. The drone is destroyed. The spoils for winning against it can be found on its card. 2 victory points and 100 credits. The drone is removed from the board. And again, the player uses another supplies token to recharge to take back their combat card. The black player has 1 more action left and uses their captain's ability again to move across another hex. At the end of combat, The pirate at the station remains there and doesn't pursue. The round tracker moves to round 4. The orange player goes and does another movement action and moves 4 spaces. They use another action of their captain's ability to generate 1 morale. Finally, they pass their last action. There are no pirates about, so the turn passes. The black player moves 4 hexes. They end up on a jump hex. They use a supplies token to jump to the opposite side of the board. Unlike space stations and hexes with tokens, this is not considered a stop and movement can continue without spending 1 extra movement to restart. For their last action, they use their captain's ability to gain another movement point and then move to another hex. There are no pirates here and the round moves from 4 to 5. At the end of every 5 rounds, players can trade morale they have into victory points for 3 to 1 bases. The orange player has 3 morale and could trade all of them for 1 victory point. Also, if they arrive at the Wasi station, they drop off their passenger there and gain some credits. This concludes the Learn in a Turn video to Cruise of Eridanus. For more information about this game, please visit the publisher's website at dakotarich.games.com. The Cardboard Stacker likes to thank the publisher of the game for sponsoring this video. Thank you. And thanks for watching the video. If you love to learn more games, come check out our channel, subscribe, and click that bell to be the first to know when our next video comes out. I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and I'm here to remind you to keep on stacking games.